Is the UK's policy to relocate asylum seekers to Rwanda legal? Let me make 10 points. Point 1. According to the UK government, the plan is that anyone who enters the UK so-called illegally will be flown to Rwanda to have their asylum claim processed over there. This policy rule will also affect anyone who has arrived illegally in the UK since the 1st of January 2022. This policy of relocating asylum seekers to Rwanda was agreed between the governments in a memorandum of understanding and is part of the UK government's wider crackdown on illegal immigration. Point 2. The UK asylum seeker relocation policy to Rwanda is underpinned by the new Nationality and Borders Bill. This bill seeks to make 3 main changes to allow for this relocation policy to Rwanda or any country deemed safe by the UK government. A, it puts into law via clause 15 that any person who travelled to the UK through a safe country can have their asylum case declared inadmissible and face removal to any other safe country around the world willing to accept them. That is, in this case, Rwanda. B, in addition, the Borders Bill would allow for the transfer to another country of someone who has lodged an asylum claim in the UK rather than having it declared inadmissible. And C, while at present it is generally unlawful for an asylum seeker to be removed from the UK while an asylum claim or an asylum appeal is being pursued, this safeguard is being removed by clause 28 combined with schedule 3 of the bill. These enable removal of an asylum seeker to a safe country while their claim is pending, that is, in this case, being in Rwanda. Point 3. The planned destination for asylum claims to be processed in Rwanda has been questioned as not being a safe country. On the one hand, the Prime Minister has said this: the deal we have done is uncapped and Rwanda will have the capacity to resettle tens of thousands of people in the years ahead. Rwanda is one of the safest countries in the world, globally recognised for its record on welcoming and integrating migrants. And on the other hand, according to the 2022 World Report by Human Rights Watch, the ruling Rwandan Patriotic Front continued to stifle dissenting and critical voices and to target those perceived as a threat to the government and their family members. The space for political opposition, civil society and media remain closed. Several high-profile critics, including opposition members and commentators using social media or YouTube to express themselves, went missing, were arrested or threatened. Point 4. Not surprisingly, the UK government has been heavily criticised for changes it's seeking to make via the Nationality and Borders Bill and specifically this Rwandan policy of relocation by the former Conservative PM Theresa May, whether it met standards of legality, practicality and efficacy, by the head of the Church of England as unethical, and by a whole host of commentators, including the Shadow Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, as a distraction to the lockdown parties and would in fact be more costly to the taxpayer to have their claims processed in Rwanda than in the UK. Point 5. However, the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, said the scheme would be a major blow to people smugglers and would stop people dying on dangerous routes to the UK. Point 6. But the United Nations Refugee Agency totally disagrees and says experience shows that these agreements are eye-wateringly expensive, often violate international law, lead to the use of widespread detention and lead to more smuggling, not less. Point 7. In addition, those subject to relocation to Rwanda for processing are likely to make a number of legal challenges by way of judicial review. Here's 3 issues for a starter, including A, the initial screening of an asylum seeker which is undertaken by the UK before the decision to relocate them to Rwanda was inadequate or ineffective and failed to identify mental health, making them unfit to fly, or that they are genuine victims of trafficking or torture survivors. B, the asylum seeker did not have proper access to legal advice in the UK, contrary to Article 6 of the Human Rights Act. And C, or the asylum seekers' reallocation to Rwanda and their subsequent accommodation would be woefully inadequate, as they may be rehoused in camps, not homes, or their liberty would be restricted, or they will be unable to access proper healthcare, and as such, there's a potential breach of Article 3 of the Human Rights Act, prohibition against inhumane treatment and torture. These would be, of course, a question of facts on the ground in Rwanda. Point 8. The government and its lawyers will likely counter-argue these and many points and refer to the Memorandum of Understanding with Rwanda. According to paragraph 8, relocated individuals will be free to come and go to and from accommodation that has been provided at all times in accordance with Rwandan laws and regulations as applicable to all residing in Rwanda. And according to paragraph 9, the Memorandum of Understanding, each relocated individual will have access to an interpreter and to procedural or legal assistance at every stage of their asylum claim, including if they wish to make an appeal, a decision made on their case. But the Memorandum of Understanding does not state whether legal assistance will be free or the quality of that legal assistance. Point 9, it's not clear what happens to a failed asylum claim, whether they will be returned to another country and where, or whether they'll be allowed to remain in Rwanda, or whether there are guarantees that a successful asylum seeker will be allowed to go back to the UK. And point 10, what you can expect is legal challenges and further political debates on how to deal with asylum seekers and illegal immigration generally. Many will support the government's position, while others will argue to the contrary, especially considering the very warm welcome given to a large number of particular asylum seekers from a particular country and the huge job shortages in particular industries. Feel free to comment. Love to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. And may the justice be with you.